Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is Oluchi. So yes, I know I have a new background. I had issues with lighting. I'm still having issues with lighting, and so I had to do this. And I think I like this background more. Like it has like more character as opposed to like just a plain black, plain gray background. Anyways, how was your week? I did talk about like me doing talking about what I wrote in my journal as a series. And yeah, this is journal entry number two. This week, actually, I was designing my mood board. Is it mood board? Mood board, vision board. I don't know. I've forgotten the name, but I was designing it, and it's nothing too crazy because I don't really know how to. I mean, I do, but sourcing the pictures and coming up with different things to do on those like elaborate vision board is just so exhausting. So I just do like a very simple one. But while I was doing my mood board or my vision board, it just occurred to me, or something that occurred to me was intentionality, and as if to further like solidify, yeah, or validate what I was thinking while I was creating that vision board. I watched one of my favorite YouTubers, Tomiwa Rodia. She's a very popular YouTuber. If you're not watching her on YouTube, I don't know why on YouTube. Apart from watching me, you should also watch her. She's really nice. And she talked about intentionality and her walk with God and how she wanted to be more intentional in 2024. And I 101% agree with what she was saying because I was really thinking about it when I was creating my vision board. Obviously, the vision board is a vision, things that you see for yourself in the future. And when I was creating them, it just like made sense. Like this is what I want. This is how I want it to be. Like everything was purposeful. No picture that is in that vision board was there just because of the aesthetic. Like everything had a meaning. And I was thinking about how I could bring that into my life. Not that I wasn't already or I'm not already intentional about certain things that I do. I am. However, I was just thinking about like how certain actions or certain things we do, especially as human beings who are purpose driven and goal driven, like everything we do has a meaning. You know, I feel what I mean. And I tend to talk about it because that's like a very big thing for me. Not necessarily because I'm not intentional, but it's more or less like to back up already what I already knew. I had to write down things that I want to be more intentional about this year. So many things already that I am, the kind of people that I listen to on the internet, the kind of things that I read, like certain things on the internet, especially on Twitter. Twitter is a very, very toxic place. And so there's certain things that I read, certain news I hear, it just affects me. Like when I joined Twitter the first time, I used to be like so I don't even know if I was depressed because of the amount of like bad news I kept on hearing, and I just had to start muting certain accounts. Not because of I didn't empathize with the news they were sharing if it was bad or whatever the person was saying, especially if like a stupid person talking or whatever. But just to protect my mental health. So it's the same thing with social media, the people I follow, the kind of books that I read, the kind of thoughts I allow myself to dwell on, actions that I take. I had decided that I want to be more intentional about them. That's also one of the reasons why I certain like let's say I don't know if they're motivational quotes or certain things that people say I don't agree with them. Especially number one, is like go with the flow, no pressure. There's so many variations of this particular thing. But the ones I can remember right now, go with the flow, no pressure, you don't have to be so so and so by a certain time, and I'll explain to you why I have issues with things like that. And it's because of the fact that I don't believe in going with the flow with anything. I just feel like as an adult you should have a plan, and this is not like I know that putting pressure or don't put pressure on yourself is actually really real because a lot of people in our generations and yeah, in our generation now, we have a lot of pressure, including me. Because of the fact that if you go online, people are making it quite early, which is really good. I don't blame them, and I see it as like a source of like motivation and inspiration. But at the same time, it has now put this kind of unrealistic standard and expectation that by the time you're 25 or you're 30, you should have your whole life figured out and what have you, which obviously is not true. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you should go with the flow. Anything that is important has a direction. A ship sailing on water has a direction. If it suddenly loses control and starts going with the flow of the water, there's a problem. The same thing with an aeroplane, same thing with someone who is, I don't know, paragliding. For example, the president of a country or someone who is running for any managerial position or just anything, any position of power or authority, they have like a manifesto, they have a plan, knowing pretty well that life would throw its own things, or life would do what life does. And there are so many risks and so many things that you do not even suspect will even come. They still have manifesto, they still have plans, and because of that, when those problems come, they know how to navigate it. So as important as you are as a human being, why do you think your life should go with the flow? Why don't you have a plan? Why are you not intentional? Again, this is not like saying that you should, what's the word? You should put pressure on yourself, because I know a lot of time people these days are very like empathetic. So like we have to think about our feelings, we have to think about our feelings. But sometimes I feel like our feelings are lying to us. And yes, they would lie to us because our brain is conditioned to love familiarity. We are familiar with this. So going outside that thing that is not familiar seems very foreign to us. And so when you now watch things on social media, you now get this kind of like peace, like, okay, everybody's doing it, so I can also do it. You cannot do it. Social media and reality are two different things. Yeah, social media, you see certain things that are very funny. Kiki kiki, talk about procrastination, talk about laziness, talk about so many different things, and it's funny. However, when you put down your phone, you are faced with your reality, and one day you're not going to be able to do anything about the time or how much time that you have wasted. Okay, you're 25, don't put pressure on yourself, you must make it by this time, but at the same time you should have a plan. 30, you should have a plan. 35, you should have a plan and be intentional about those plans, the kind of friends that you hang around, not the kind of friends that are going to bring you down or see your success as a problem, or friends that you gossip with. I know friends, normally gossip with your friends and all of that, but if all you do whenever you guys hang out is talk about other people, then there is a problem. If when you go to social media, the kind of things that you are watching do not add anything to your life, I'm not saying that life should be serious and you must always have something important added to your life every single time that you go on social media. You must always, there's no time for fun. There should be time for fun, but at the same time, you should be gaining something from whatever action that you do and from whatever thing you do. Another thing that I have beef with, another saying is, you are where you are meant to be. And I am going to add, you're where you are as a result of your own actions. It sounds a bit harsh, but to be very honest, I'm a very harsh person, not just to myself, but with other people. And if people, I want to try to like tone it down this year, because a lot of people have told me that I'm a bit blunt, not a bit. Some people have told me to my face that you're blunt, and I don't want to be that kind of person that I say it as it is, and you're rude. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying as it is. I'm saying things how I feel them, but I'm just being rude about it. I don't want to be that kind of person. But you are where you are as a result of your own actions. If you're being honest, like a lot of things, not much as we like to like give responsibility to other things. Now again, I do understand that life is going to life, things are going to happen that you would never expect, and all of that, but you cannot keep on using that as an excuse for your laziness. Different things happen. Oh, it's because this person did this to me, and so that's why I'm like this. It's because this happened, that's why I'm like this. You never ever say it's because I was lazy, it's because I procrastinated, it's because I stalled too long and then the opportunity passed me. That is why I am like this. Every single thing you do and where you are, the position you are, is as a result of the things you did. Even I myself, I know that certain times when I want to like be like, oh, I regret this, I wish this was this way and this was that way, I still have to remind myself that the reason why these things are the way they are is because of what I did. Because I'm being honest with myself. Like I said, I'm very harsh and I'm going to tell myself the truth. And I think that's one of the things I like about myself. Whenever I want to like do a pity party, like, oh, I shouldn't have done this, it's what I have done. And so what I just do is accept my mistakes. I made my mistake, it's time to learn from my mistake and do better the next time I am presented with such an opportunity again. I'll do better moving forward, if you understand what I'm saying. So that thing, I feel like if you are still using that as an excuse for your mediocrity, an excuse for why you're not getting up and doing something with yourself, I think in this year you have to drop it and be more intentional about your goals. If you believe in manifesting, manifest. But I believe in action. That's all I believe in. I believe that there is no time to be afraid and there's no time for what ifs. There's only time for action. People who are, successful, if you talk to them or if you get to know what's in their head, they are very intentional about the kind of things that they do. Someone who wants to build a business is intentional about the kind of people that they hang around with, the kind of things that they watch. You don't just watch anything because business is business now. The business you want to, the kind of business you want to do, and you know the kind of people you're going to meet for that kind of business. You don't just do things anyhow and then expect that what is meant for you will come to you. That's a very, very big lie. This life is survival of the fittest. If you don't know it now. It's still survival of the fittest. Just because we're not fighting like savages and fighting over our meat or something like that doesn't mean that life is not a survival of the fittest and only the strongest win. That is the truth. You cannot just see that people, that same thing that you want to do, there is someone out there that wants to do that same thing. So you cannot just fold your hands and just like, okay, what is meant for me will come to me. The fact that I miss this opportunity means that there's another one coming. No, sometimes there's no other one coming. That opportunity was meant for you. If you had positioned yourself correctly, if you had done the right thing, taking the right actions, that thing would have come for you. And I'm not saying that even if you work very hard, everything you're going to get exactly what you want. Sometimes you may not get exactly what you want, but the fact that you work hard, there is going to be some level of reward from that thing that you did. So what belongs to you is not going to come to you unless you go and collect it. That's it for I think journal entry number 2. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned something from this video. I'm not being harsh. I do understand that and in this life we kind of see ourselves as babies. Even I myself, I still see myself as a baby sometimes. But we have to take the bull by the horns. There's no excuse. If you want to do something, you have a plan. Sitting down and manifesting and just hoping that manna will fall to you from heaven, it does not work like that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to enjoy my video about overthinking. Go and watch it, and I'm going to see you next week. Bye.